Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Creating Illusions podcast. As you'll see, things are looking a bit different. We've got some headphones, we've got some standing mics. James, would you like to talk about what you changed again?
We've upgraded again. We've got 3 cameras. We're going for the Trident setup. We've got a roadcaster. We might have lighting next, you never know.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Media equipment people just start liking me somehow.
Gonna end up rocking up into a whole new studio by the end of this.
You'll need to write a written apology for last week, to be fair.
Wasn't our fault though.
All right, and on today's episode, we've got the one, the only, Tara Cordiner. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I don't really know what to say. Hi guys, I'm Tara. I've just finished my final year of theatre and performance, and that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, awesome. So I just wanted to kind of acknowledge the relationship all of us have in this room, because this isn't the first time we've all worked together, is it?
No, it's not.
No. James, would you like to talk about the last time you had us?
So one of my most recent projects, I did a video for a charity called Mentell. It's for men's mental health. They have men's circles up and down the north, pretty much. We did a promotional video for them as part of my digital video production and marketing course, where we did some client work, made a good video for them. Bless. These guys did an amazing job. Thank you very much.
We
guys.
did. No, we did.
It's all right.
Acting was amazing, yeah.
Acting was very, very good.
It's peak.
It was a good thing. Like, obviously, both of you guys were worried in a sense of like trying to get like the casting for it, because I remember you reached out to me asking if I could do an acting job for one of your friends, obviously me and James. I was like, yeah, sure, like why not? And then you was like telling me how you was a bit worried about it because obviously you told me it was something to do with men's mental health.
Yeah.
And like immediately as soon as I found out it was to do with men's mental health, straight away I was like, yeah, 100%. Like, I'm always for like posting stuff on men's mental health. Andy's Man Club that was created where I'm originally from in Halifax. Sadly, obviously, a man took his own life, and it was his friends that created this charity. And now it's literally all across the UK. It's got a lot of sponsors. So many people are working with them. They're constantly doing charity events and things like that. Like, I'm always posting and stuff. And it's one of them ones where it's like, I would never expect anyone to try and use that for a paid opportunity. Whenever someone mentions anything to do with like mental health, especially men's mental health, because it is not spoken about enough, I'd be there 100% without a doubt.
Honestly, I think it was a genuine, like, beautiful opportunity to kind of create like a short film that encapsulates men's mental health, or kind of is for that general purpose. And I think it was a really nice piece to be a part of. Genuinely, like, huge thanks to James for letting us be a part of it.
Because the way I wanted to operate is just, I always want to do like narrative stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm not really the type of person to do like real in-person stuff, even though I could go in that direction, but it's just like narrative storytelling. I think that's my lane, and you guys kind of just perfectly run that across, which is great.
It was one of them ones as well where it's like, I feel as though when someone hears about having to create something like on mental health, it's trying to create a piece that is important, and you're talking about the importance of mental health, especially men's mental health, without taking it away or like dramatising it so much. But I think the story that you created, James, like, it was a really good story. I think it was powerful. You got it down to a T without making it too much or taking away the actual message that you wanted to say, but as well as like what Mentell is. And obviously that's now being published in the University of Salford's like website, news article thing. Front page, yeah. And it was us two that was made on the front page, us hugging. And obviously now that's going on to being published by Mentell on their social media over the next couple of weeks, which like some people may just see that as like a uni assignment and stuff like that, but
it means more.
Like it's such a big thing to be able to be like, oh, I've worked with this charity, like I did my was it an assessment? Did you say?
It was an assessment.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did my assessment for a charity, and now my work's being seen by others all up the north that one work with this charity, but as well people that may be the people that go to these circles and stuff like that. Like, it's a great opportunity in both senses, because you're talking about men's mental health, which I'm pretty certain we all have a passion for. It's men's mental health at the end of the day, but as well, it's your work's being seen. So not only are you getting out there, you're getting out there for the right reasons, because you're working with a charity and it's such a good charity to work with. So that should be something that you should genuinely be really proud of, especially like it being a university student. Like, we didn't get any of those opportunities.
No,
we haven't had anything like
We're
that.
We're going to talk about that today, aren't we, to be fair, a little bit.
Don't make me cry, guys.
Oh.
It's fine.
James, we just love you so much.
Give me a kiss.
Okay, after
I'm not
the episode. But I think the reason I brought you here today is because for your final project, we did a short audio podcast, and we kind of dived into the education system.
Yes.
Funding for the creative arts. We kind of wanted to talk about that, but we found that like the time that we had to kind of talk about on your like the PRP podcast that you didn't really have enough time to explore how much we really wanted to talk about. So I thought it'd be a really cool idea to kind of explore it again, kind of get more ideas back out there.
Yeah, 100%. So basically for my PRP podcast, we spoke about creative arts funding, what creative arts was, and narrowing that down to what it is within education, especially in a sense of the government. I'm not going to say what I was going to say actually. Especially with the government being the way they are, and them wanting to cut funding for creative arts potentially as a whole. It has not been said yet, so please don't hold me for any facts that I do state. But them being in talks and it being more noticed and acknowledged that they're wanting to cut funding for creative arts, especially within education. So creative arts as a whole, you've got acting, music, art, photography, fashion, visual art,
it's like software
production, game production, marketing, like things like that. Like this, it's
loads
such,
of things.
It's such a broad category for what it is, and especially within education, you don't necessarily always get to go on with that. You will have your art, your fashion, your music, your drama, your acting, some technical theatre, some media studies, film production, things like that. You'll have those that you get taught within education, but there's less people now taking those. Like Ed Sheeran stated that there's so many less people now taking music in high school. There's not many people within, like, just in the artist and music industry as a whole that are British artists that are now making music, especially when it comes to making music and hitting like the top 10. Like, you've got Alex Warren, who's an amazing artist who came from TikTok, but he's American. You've had, I can't even think of other people. I think Lola Young who made that song Messy?
Yeah.
I think she's British. I think like she's one of the only most recent British artists who's got in the top 10. But that's like still the first time in a while. Eurovision, the UK barely placed top 10 or even first. It's something where having these creative subjects in education, not only does it like help benefit young people with their mental health and their well-being and taking away their stress that they have, and obviously them having to go through all their STEM subjects, so your English, your maths, your science, history or geography, whatever you decide to pick for your GCSEs, having to go through that and having to remember like the 14 poems, the 2 scripts, all these different things, and like having to work out Pythagoras theorem, remember the main digits of pi.
3.14.
159, this is pi, followed by, I only remember that from the song. And it's like things like that. It's like having these creative subjects, that's what's helping them have their release from all this overstimulating work and the amount of pressure that they have
Yeah.
to be able to do everything that they need to do.
So let's talk about that for a second, because I think especially like we're quite young people. Like not recently, but not too long ago, we were in high school, and we've kind of like felt the pressure of having to kind of revise constantly and having to learn these 14 poems in Inspector Calls or Macbeth, quadratic equations for maths, you know, Pythagoras' theorem, your periodic table for chemistry, your physics equations, biology, and then you've got your RE, and then you kind of have to understand these like political topics. And I feel like at such a young age, like 15, 16, you kind of have to like have all this knowledge kind of just circling around your brain. It's good for young people to kind of be able to relax.
100%. And see, it's like, it's not even just that as well, like the amount of pressure that schools and things put on you to keep you in education, like, oh, you must go to college, like try do these, you must go to university, try do these subjects. The world want us to go down the boring 9-to-5 jobs, going into offices, working in banks, doing this, doing that, using your maths and using your English. Yeah, we use English quite a lot within performing when it comes to learning and analysing scripts and creating characters, but we have such more creative freedom where we don't have to be ourselves. We can put ourselves into a different person for like an hour or a few weeks, stuff like that. Like these are important for people to still have their freedom and still enjoy things and escape reality just for a few hours a day. And if the government are wanting to cut the funding for that, then it's one of them ones where who's going to say that they're going to have that creative freedom anymore? Who's going to say that the 96% of people who have a positive impact in their mental health does creative subjects? Who's to say that that's not going to significantly plummet? At the end of the day, linking back with obviously James's Mentell project and things like that, mental health has been on a rise. It's always going to be on a rise because it's not talked about enough. There's such a big stigma, obviously, especially with men's mental health, and it's just one of them ones where people are still out there trying to get the help. And ever since COVID, and I don't want to blame it on COVID because everyone blames everything on COVID, like doing my research for performance project before Christmas, I was looking at the mental health statistics because I wanted to focus it on that. And ever since COVID, like the last 5 years, all it has done, mental health, is like the numbers have increased on more people struggling, and especially young people, that's going to increase more if they don't have their creative freedom.
I think a lot of people as well kind of don't understand that mental health, it's going to sound so stupid and kind of like a catchphrase slogan, that mental health is just as important as physical health, if that makes sense. If you have a cold or if you've broken a bone, you go to the hospital. If your mental health is suffering, you should see someone, you should talk to someone. If that makes sense.
But that does make sense. But like I said, like as well, like you can go see someone, but how hard is it to go see someone now?
It's
like
terrifying.
It's like you're having to go on waiting lists. People don't always have necessarily the right training. People sometimes feel worse actually going and receiving medical help than they do just finding someone to chat to. So I feel like it is just as important, your mental health, as what it is your physical health, because if your mental health is bad, that can affect your physical health because you're not going to have the energy to get out of bed. You're not going to have the energy to do the basic necessities that your body needs to keep yourself going, because that's the least of your priorities at that moment in time. Like, it's going to be one of them things where obviously it is always going to be on a rise, and it is always going to be something that needs to be spoken about openly and vocally without any judges. It's something that needs to be discussed with men's mental health, especially, like that still needs to be spoken about. And me as an individual, obviously I can't change the world. I wish I could. I'd love to change the world. I'd love to rule the world. Tara for Prime Minister, no, I kid. I'm not doing that. But I'm never going to stop talking about mental health. I want to be open with it, and especially men's mental health. I want to be there for people. I want people to know that they can come to me and talk to me, even if like they don't know me, even if they don't want an answer, they just want to get something off the chest, and it be online, like they don't have to do it face to face, just so they know that they can be heard by someone. And obviously we've got the groups, we've got Andy's Man Club that have now opened up all over the UK. They're constantly opening up new circles for them to chat to. You've got Mentell.
And I think, just to interrupt you, I think what we're going to do for this episode, I think we're going to link Mentell's number or Mentell's page or email and Andy's Men's Club number and email into like the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube, or the information below if you're listening on Spotify. Just if you guys maybe want to reach out, or you feel like maybe when asked for help for someone, then you can use the links below to try and go there.
Perfect.
Awesome. But so a very specific reason I spoke to you about this, like funny for like creative education, is we kind of both have like, I'm trying to think of the word. It's escaping
We've both had experience with
kind of time we've been kind of screwed over by like our courses closing down. Like my college course was for the performing arts like building closed down entirely to make more room for like the engineering building or the trade building. And it's kind of like, I understand, like obviously engineering, building, woodwork, all that is very valuable to say. But it sucks as well, because say you only have like 3 colleges in like Manchester that teach performing arts, and 2 of them closed to make more room for English, maths, or your trades. That one college is now like, there's no way they can accept all the applicants to study performing arts, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
All the 3. So it's just kind of like, there's going to be so many now young people who are going to miss out on picking their performing arts, their media arts, their dance, their music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, back where I'm from, it's such a small rural town. Like, there was one high school where I lived. The rest of them you had to travel like 20, 30 minutes to. And obviously you'd have to get the bus, and the buses are unreliable, and then roadworks and this and that. So we had a lot of people in our school, and we all had the opportunity to do drama, like going through high school from year 7 to year 9, you know, obviously to try it out. We're trying out all these different subjects, seeing if we like it, see if we want to do it as a GCSE. That was great. There'd be drama clubs, like they'd always do school musicals every single, like April, we'd have a Christmas show, we'd have a summer show, like there was always performing, and the tickets would always sell out. There'd always be so many people in them. And then obviously it came to doing our GCSEs. When I was there, GCSE drama was an option, and we had quite a big group. It was nice. I think there was like 10 of us, which there was only one drama teacher, so obviously we couldn't have a lot of people, but there was 10 of us. We all worked really well. Like, we was one big family. We'd then work alongside music. I think there was like 10 people in music as well, because like music was hard as a GCSE. I know that from speaking with friends. And well, no, actually that's a lie. We had 2 music, because we had GCSE music and then we had BTEC music. So we had 2 different levels of it, and they were like full courses as well. And obviously we'd all work together, we'd all do shows together, we'd like do concerts and things like that, and it worked really well. And then our drama teacher decided to change it up a little bit when it came to doing like the performing and like the school shows. So every single year we do a musical. We did Grease, Our House, Pop Stars, We Will Rock You. There were so many different ones that we did. And then she decided to change it, so then they'd do a musical one year and a play another year. And the first play that they did was Macbeth. So obviously us older people, because we was already doing Shakespeare as a GCSE, because we had to do it for English, it was a lot harder, because I didn't want to have to learn 2 Shakespeare plays to then try and coincide one another. And remember that one of them I'm actually having to learn and perform, and then the other one
you have to
I'm having to analyse and like deep study it. Like, it's hard. It was a lot. So I didn't do that. And then obviously COVID came. We was out of doing shows for a while. We was having to do, I went to do A-level drama at my 6th form, because my high school and my 6th form was like connected, because again there was not a college where I lived. It was like, again, 20, 30 minutes out the way. So we was doing that, and we was having to perform in like small groups in a small classroom wearing face masks.
And I think for me, I feel like my story is kind of, I attended a 6th form, Oldham 6th form college, and I studied English literature, media studies, theatre studies, and something else as well. I And it was so hard to kind of balance all the different like AS levels. I'm not very academic, to be fair. I'm not like the smartest person, so maybe that's more of a personal experience than a general. But I feel like then moving to the college I went to, Hotwood Hall, my tutor, I cannot give her enough praise. Roxanne Walsh was amazing for I kind of felt a bit lost in education. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. I wanted to do something creative, but I was a bit like, I don't know, like I'm not that academic, and I just kind of want to do something that feels right for me. And she kind of encouraged me to kind of get into like performance and just enjoy it a lot more. So I feel like without that course being there for me, I don't know what I would have done, if that makes sense.
Just to quickly jump in there, I'm kind of the same. First year of college, I didn't go to sixth form, I went to Berry College. So it's just vocational courses and stuff. First year I did joinery.
That was a quick switch up in career path.
Joinery. The next year I did media production. I did a full 180 because I realised this sounds fun, I'll just do it. And then I just gave it a whack.
And now look at you.
That was a poor choice of word. Gave it a
Gave it a go.
Gave it a whack.
There you go, gave it a go.
It just literally flourished. I never thought I'd be getting into university doing a more accessible, creative course.
Being able to be free and do what you wanted to do.
I don't think it was in the books for me, to be honest. But
I think that's a problem for like young people as well. They kind of feel so pressured that they have to pick these, what like the general public calls a proper degree, if that makes sense. Or like the proper courses.
Real jobs.
Yeah. Acting's not a real job. And they kind of feel pressured into like picking English or maths or like further maths or law, psychology or one of these type degrees where it kind of feels like, well, this is like, I don't want to do it. Or maybe I don't really want to do it as much as I want to do something more creative. But
I think as well with that, I think like you said, having a relationship with that teacher where you can separate them teaching you and helping you, being there for you and not forcing what they realistically have to force upon you when it comes to picking your career like choices. I had two teachers. One of them was actually my English teacher. Absolutely love her. Shout out to Laura Roberts. She is one of the reasons why I'm here today, and she helped me through my education when it came to English and my performing side. She always said I was going to go far when it came to acting, and I will always be grateful for that. But not only that, she also helped me with the mental stress of being a 14-year-old girl going through family struggles, as well as having to learn in reverse for all my GCSEs. Like, it was hard, didn't have it easy. And as well, my drama teacher who I had for GCSE drama and A-level drama, Susie Simpson, love her, icon. She is also another reason why I'm here today. Like, she was the one who praised me the most when she found out that I thankfully got an unconditional for uni, because obviously it's not a common thing to get an unconditional. I didn't have to audition or anything like that, so for her to like be proper over the moon and like post it on our school's like performing arts page, like everyone congratulating me, like if it hadn't have been for them two, I don't think I would have been here today at university. I've just finished my degree. Literally, sometimes all you need is graduate in 2 months. And I don't think I would have pushed myself to do acting, because I think I probably would have swayed with my family, and they were the ones that were like, oh, do a proper job, like go do photography, or you seem to be really good at criminology, because I got an A in it. It was like, oh, go do criminology, like get into policing, do like forensics. I'm like, that's not what I want to do. There's a difference
between being good about something and being passionate about doing something different.
Like, I've always had a passion for acting. Like, I used to be in a theatre company called Stardom. We used to do shows, we used to do like showcases, things like that. We'd have workshops with actors. I got taught how to sing, I got taught how to dance, and obviously I had the acting as well aside of that. We'd always do musicals. That was like majority of my childhood. We used to go there every single Saturday. Had this bright red leotard, a white t-shirt, I can remember it. It's bright silver sparkly tap shoes.
I can picture you in one of them, James.
What is a leotard again?
A leotard is like a bodysuit, but these ones weren't like bodysuits. It was like a full like shoulder to ankle like jumpsuit type thing, but it's made out of like the lycra material, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I prefer Mankini, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I see you as a Mankini person, to be fair.
That's more my style.
But yeah, I had the opportunity of being a part of them as well, which again, rural area, don't know how many times I'm going to say that today.
Yeah.
It again was like one of the only ones. There's still a few around now. Obviously mine sadly shut down because they just weren't getting the people in, they weren't getting the money down in. That shut down 2 years ago, along with GCSE drama at my high school. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. But then as well, like, look at Georgia. She unfortunately couldn't finish her degree with us because of the government and student financing not giving her the money that she needed to continue to stay. She went to go finish her degree at her college, and she would have been in her final year getting ready to graduate with us this year. But her course got shut down and they needed, I think, 10 people to have the right amount of funding for the course, and they couldn't grab 10 people because I remember her messaging me whilst I was in Greece last year. She was like, can you drop out of uni final year, please move to my college just so we can keep the course, just so we can both graduate together. And I was like, honestly, I would have dropped everything within a heartbeat and moved over there, but it was just, I couldn't. I was like, it's my final year here, having to travel from here to Chester every single day. Like, as much as I would have loved to, I physically couldn't. It
sucks though, because it's just like another example of a talented young person who's kind of misses out on getting the
exactly. And it's like every single person that was a part of that course that was going to basically go into their final year this year and stuff like that, they couldn't do that. And then the people that was going into that course then get their degree, they also couldn't do that now. So
because it's like nothing there is her fault. If that makes, like, it's not her fault, obviously, that the student finance weren't given her enough to
like
stay here.
If she had have had, I think, the correct funding, I think she definitely still would have been here. And as much as, you know, I would love to have her still here, obviously, I understood why, and there was no way we could have physically helped, but we were still there for her, and like still speak to her every single day, still see her not every single day anymore, but I still see her as much as I can within the year. But it's so rubbish because she wanted to be an actor, and then she was contemplating going into the teaching industry and like becoming a teacher because she loves the education side of it. But for her to now finish her degree, she's now having to finish her degree in technical theatre, which is something that we've never been taught. We've not been taught how to run the lights or do sound when it comes to performing. And she's like, for her to get her theatre degree, why should she have to do technical theatre? Like, that's not something she's going to go down, I don't think. And it's so rubbish. And then the people that were wanting to like get their degree in performing, they are now having to wait till next year to apply through UCAS because they didn't find out till after UCAS application closed, or by potluck do it through clearing, which I'm assuming you probably know how hard it is to do it through clearing.
I'm honest, I'm not too sure what it is.
Clearing's basically like you get it on results day, so like people who don't pick their first choice or don't get like want to go to that uni, then they'll open up spaces like on results day for you to like apply, and it's one of those ones where it's like
it's a gamble.
It's like one of the ones where it's hardest to get in. So
as well, I wanted to kind of give like a little bit of time because last week I had Rob on the podcast, and we were kind of talking about like difficulties of being an actor or being a screen actor, being a voice actor, or being a motion capture actor. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of have this idea that, acting is easy, that's not a proper job, that's too easy. And Rob was kind of talking about it's a very like hard on, or it can be very hard on your mental health and your self-esteem, kind of putting yourself out there. 100%. As people who have done like these shows in front of people, or like been in front of a camera, or been in an audio booth and having to listen to your voice over and over and over again, or watching it like a film production, watching yourself on camera over and over again, like you have to kind of confront like your self-esteem and kind of your little insecurities and kind of.
And as well, just to jump in, I feel like actors and theatre performance people really need like a safe environment to kind of show off their personalities, be themselves, show their range.
Yeah.
And I think it could be really difficult with obviously the self-esteem stuff. But having that safe space, being in an environment where you can just let everything out, show your true potential is so important.
It's hard. I feel like it's easier in the TV industry when it comes to like being in a safe space with a group of actors, because a lot of people it's their first time and you're going to get the most experience and have the most opportunities to be able to improve yourself character-wise as well as performing-wise as an actor and as an individual, but you are as a group, because like I did quite a few days on set last year for some upcoming projects, and a lot of the people that I was with, there was a variety of different ages. Majority of them was our age, but there were a variety of different ages, and a lot of them it was their first things, like their first time doing it, first time being on a professional set, first time acting in like a professional production. So it was different and it was hard, but we all got together as a family.
Yeah.
We'd never seen each other since, but on the days we were in and on set,
you just formed this like immediate
it was that
closeness,
immediate safe set.
Yeah.
But I feel if we was to talk about, now this is my own personal opinion, I feel like if we was to talk about going into theatre and live theatre, it is more of a competition in a sense of like, oh, I can do this better than you, like I'm better than you, and there's not always that safe environment that you would get being on TV.
Yeah,
set.
there's the element of kind of maybe like toxic competitiveness. If that makes sense.
And the constant like self-insecurities of don't mess this up, because if I mess this up, everyone's going to see it. It's not like messing something up on camera, you can stop, you can retake it, you can refilm, you can redo that scene. You can't do that when it's live theatre.
Yeah.
But one thing I was grateful for was when we did, I can't remember what it was called, Top Fest, I can't remember the actual module. We did Top Fest at the end of second year. The director that we had, Andy Barry, he every single morning, every Friday morning when we had rehearsal, we met up with him, and then every single day during Tech Week, because he's a professional director and he works with a lot of people of different ages, ethnicities, backgrounds, disabilities, like he works with everyone. He has the actual professional safe space like text, and he'd read it out, and then another week he'd get someone else to read it out, just to remind everyone that what we are in is a safe space. We can talk to each other if anything doesn't seem right, where to go to him about it, and just to know that like we're in a safe professional space. We need to keep it professional. Like we're not trying to one up every person, we're not trying to one up each other. We're working together collectively as a group, and that's the way it should be. We're one big family and we should treat each other like family. Yeah,
I think there's kind of just this sense of, I feel like when actors kind of come together, there's a definite like a sense of you kind of feel comfortable to work around each other, if that makes sense. But I think it's more kind of like an unconscious kind of thing, if that makes sense. You're always gonna, like, comparison is a thief of joy, if that makes sense. Like, especially when you're doing theatre work, as someone who's very like limited on his theatre skills, like I can act, I feel like I'm quite a good actor, but I don't necessarily sing or dance very well.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So taking part in those type of projects, I feel like there's always the element of, oh, well, I wish that I was as good a singer as this person, or I wish that person could dance really well, so I wish maybe I could do that. And it's kind of the sense of, it's very hard to kind of get out your own way, if that makes sense, doing this sort of like work.
You see other people that may seem better in your eye, and it's like one of those ones where it's you want to be like them.
Yeah.
But for all we know, it could be a case of we want to be like them, but who's to say that in their head they're wanting to be like us?
Yeah.
It's one of them ones where, again, like it's going to affect our mental health and stuff like that, because we're always going to have those insecurities. We're always going to be like, well, I feel like I could do this better. I feel like I could do that better. I wish I was like this person. I wish I was like that person. I wish I could do this like that person. Like, I'm not as good as them. Like, no one's going to pick me. I wish I could do this. Why can't I do that? Like, this is frustrating me. I don't know how to do this anymore. Like, that's something that everyone's going to think of. Like, nobody in the world is perfect. Like, even the greatest actors that we see online and the greatest actors that we've had within the acting industry that have sadly passed, like Robin Williams and things like that, or like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's done so many brilliant films, and he's such a great actor, but he's obviously got like his ADHD, his dyslexic and things like that. Like, you'd see those great people and you'd think, oh, they're perfect, they don't have anything wrong, this and that. But it's like, that's because you're seeing them act and you're seeing them put on a face.
You're
and
seeing the character of them.
You're seeing them the way they want you to see.
Yeah, you're seeing them the way you want them to see. Whether it's the character that they're portraying in a TV show or a film or an on-stage production, and then when you see them doing like the press conferences or like going on the late night talk shows and things like that, the way you're seeing them on the talk shows, that's still a version of themselves that they want to put on. You will never know what goes on behind the scenes when the cameras are turned off. Like, you don't know what goes on in their head. Like, people could be out there struggling. Like, one of the greatest actors, like, could be turning around and be like, I could have done that better. I wish I could have done that better. That show wasn't my strongest show.
Yeah.
And it's like, they could be thinking that, but we could be out here being like, that was such a brilliant show. Yeah. Like, this is the best film I've ever seen. Like, props to the actors, props to the film crew, props to the director, everything. But they'd probably still be thinking at least one or two things could have been changed because it wasn't good.
We were kind of having this discussion this morning about that Mentell shoot, to be fair, weren't we? Like, obviously it's done well enough for it to get kind of put on to the uni's page, or for Mentell to kind of want to repost it and publish it. But you were saying this morning that like, if given the opportunity again, you'd love to kind of improve like little bits about it.
Yeah.
So I think that...
for example, I'm redoing the edit of it, made it leagues better. I'll show you a preview after. It's so much better. Like, what I presented was for the assessment, but what I'm making now is just a piece of content that
you yourself proud of. Yeah.
So much better edited, and obviously you guys can use it. You have my blessing to use it in your portfolio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming together really nicely. So.
Well, how long did you have to edit it for your assessment after you filmed it?
So, filmed it pretty much the end of March, like March 22nd. And then I had till the 30th to get everything signed off, which is a long time. Just had a bunch of other stuff to do in the meantime.
Yeah.
So I had time to really get it down to a T. But obviously, when you have so much other stuff piling on top of it, and like other things just need to take priority, and stuff just wasn't on there. And
you had like certain like requirements as well, like you had to have it a certain time requirement and stuff.
For example, shot nearly 4 minutes of footage on the timeline. I had to half the time of it.
Oh.
So you can imagine how rushed and squeezed in everything is.
Especially when, like, because you planned it well, like everything you told us about on the day and like all the like the shots you'd gone through with us kind of had an intention. There was kind of like a story, and there was a reason why. So having to cut half of that is kind of like, like crap. What do I do?
You don't have any time to give any emotions or facial expressions or shots breathe. Like,
yeah, we know about the emotions, and I couldn't cry. We had to use a water cap.
Yeah, just throwing water in your face.
I'll put a little preview on now. You had to use a water cap to pour water in her eyes.
And
it's
then
like
Nick's eyes as well.
Yeah.
To make it look like they were crying, which I'll be honest, you can't even see on camera.
That's it. We played it off.
It's just funny to put in a preview. I might make a little blooper video.
That's it.
You use that as well as like your acting methods or something.
And then trying to film in the park scene, and every single person kept walking past, and that one guy that was walking past so slow with his phone playing music really loud.
The one person in the wheelchair, which we won't mention.
Oh. I don't remember the wheelchair person.
No, you was definitely there.
It was the oh, was it there? Wait, no, yeah, it was.
It was there.
Wheel car thing.
because it went really, really quiet, and I bursted out laughing, and they were still like close to us, but it was more the fact of I clocked James's face. I knew what you was thinking about, and then it came into my head, and I couldn't help but keep a straight face just because the face that you pulled. Yeah. And then it was just the fact that he went really awkwardly silent, and it was like I couldn't help holding in my laugh any longer. I had to let it out.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun of it, really, isn't it? Like, you can't have like a shoot day and not have fun. Like,
like exactly. Like, even with it being such a serious topic as well, like being about mental health, like it was an impactful like shoot that we was doing. Like, it wasn't happy go lucky, let's go to the shop, let's go to the park, we're going on a holiday. Like, we was talking about deep things. So for us to still keep it professional and keep the seriousness when it came to actually shooting, like, we could still have the fun and keep ourselves as individuals uplifted, so we wasn't brought down along with the shooting. So like, it was still fun to have fun, and like when we was all sat in the kitchen chatting about first year experiences and this and that, like
uni accommodations.
And just becoming closer is not only friends, as a team, it just makes a better work environment. Because I'd say having a happy work environment, like, it develops more trust between the crew members. And I think you guys as actors, having a bad environment, like, you feel really stiff, no room to breathe. Like, you can only do so much. But when you're comfortable in an environment, on a set, on a theatre, you just, like, you have more trust in the people.
For sure.
Behind it, you just get to give your all a bit more. So,
but as well, like,
I appreciate that you guys were able to do that because of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
It was all because of you, James. Honestly, every single bit of that production went well because of you, James. Honestly.
Yeah, we lost another person to the bad stuff. No, but honestly, like, I think having a good work environment helps improve, like, not only your performance but the comfort. Like, I feel like if you're in a bad work environment where no one wants to talk to each other, like, it's your first time working with these individuals, like, you can still sometimes feel the awkwardness in your acting. I don't know whether you can feel that, but I can sometimes still feel the awkwardness in my acting. But like, from the get-go, it was just like, you brought us into like a safe, comfortable space. Like, straight away you was making conversation with us, like offering us drinks and stuff like that if we wanted anything. Offering to compensate us. I was like, no.
Because especially that was like the first time like we'd really worked together as well, innit? And then like since then we've obviously formed like quite.
We met on the uni fight, white collar fighter, and just being able to see each other again, like in a totally different environment, I thought it was really cool. Both being creatives, just coming together and making something great was really cool. And then, as well, just being mates outside of everything as well.
We're obviously formed like that quite close friendship now, obviously, where you're helping me out do this every week, which is a nightmare for you, I can imagine.
No, I mean, today was the worst.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I don't know, I feel like I was helping you.
Just to make you feel better.
Yeah. It's fake.
This is where I ask you, I don't know.
I suppose a little bit of kind of what I want to talk about is kind of move it away is, so last week, obviously we were talking about Rob, and Rob was kind of giving like little hints, tips on kind of being a voice actor, being a motion capture actor. And obviously you've had very different experiences to Rob at university. Like, you've studied different things. You've done like presenting, for example, you've done acting with camera like 2 years in a row. So maybe if you just kind of wanted to go into like what you wanted to do later in life, if you've kind of got an idea of what you'd like to do.
So I definitely want to go into the TV and film industry. I've obviously been grateful that I had a short-term contract with your casting agency.
Moon.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Big props to Moon. I managed to get a few days working with them on an upcoming feature film.
Ooh.
And
do you want to tell people a bit more about it?
I can't, I'm not allowed to legally. Otherwise I would.
Like that.
All will be announced soon. That's all I can say. And then I also managed to do another day on set on, now I can say this one because this has already been out. I was on Waterloo Road in the background. So I did a day on Waterloo Road. So yeah, TV and film is definitely something that I do want to go into. It's a lot more competitive than I feel as though
people have an idea of as well.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive because a lot more people know it, and obviously it's covered a lot more than what it is. Obviously, like Rob doing like the voice acting in radio and things like that. It's covered a lot more in universities and like conservatoires and stuff like that. Whereas radio and voice, as important as it is,
it's maybe not covered as much.
Yeah.
I think that's more because when people think of acting, they kind of picture like movies or they kind of picture TV shows. I think the general audience...
Or West End.
Yeah, like, typically thinks of either theatre or TV.
So I think it's a good industry to get into. Yeah. It's hard, don't get me wrong, because it's hard trying to find an agency. They're always booked, and trying to get yourself out there as an individual when you don't have a lot of experience, because as grateful as I am to have studied TV acting and acting for camera within university over the 3 years, 2 years I was picking the modules, it's been hard because we get taught the basic skills. Like, so second year we was taught about soaps like Hollyoaks and Coronation Street, like working through the nitty gritty scenes in those, like the more tense uptight scenes. Whereas third year when we did TV acting, that was your soap operas like Line of Duty and things like that, like the more serious like dynamic scenes. So it's the contrast of those, like it is hard, but I feel as well it was a hard module to do because we was fitting so much in to such a short period of time. Like we get given a script and then we had to learn that script and perform it the week after, and we wouldn't know who we're working with. Whereas going in the TV and film industry, you probably get your script so much more in advance, and not only that, you are also you'll know who you're working with in advance, so you get to build that relationship and you get to build that kind of dynamic with the other individual, so you know how you work, you can balance off each other. Whereas we didn't really get that in obviously university, but that's because there's a lot to fit in within the short period of time, which I understand that, but I feel as though we didn't really get many opportunities for acting outside of uni whilst in uni, if that makes sense. So like if we was a part of an agency, like you're a part of an agency, like it was hard to work that around the days you're in uni because we couldn't take time off for it and things like that. You
can't really do many jobs because you're kind of like I can't take the time away to do them. Yeah,
like there was always like complaining if we took time out of uni to do acting jobs, even though they was wanting to promote it for us to do that.
It's like the whole degree, right? Because it's kind of like, I remember I'd requested some time out of a module to go do some filming for, I think it was a Paramount Picture show called A Gentleman in Moscow, which I did end up getting to do, to be fair, which had Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Screw you.
Very, very cool. But I remember I'd emailed a lecturer at the time, and obviously I was told that you can't really take time off to do it. And it kind of set like this thought in my mind, which is like, well, this is the whole degree, right? To get a job as an actor.
You'd think that uni would be supportive. Yeah. I mean, they are supportive. Like when we did careers and professional pathways, like they brought in agencies. We worked about agents. Like we did workshops on how to email an agent, and then the interview stage and things like that. Like they did bring in agencies for us to look at that are Manchester based. But you would think that every single opportunity that we'd get, like filming opportunity outside of uni,
they'd encourage you to take it.
Yeah, but weirdly it was frowned upon.
But it's like bureaucratic that way, innit? Like obviously I imagine the uni has kind of standards of like you need to be in this many days, otherwise then the uni's kind of getting like...
Yeah, but as well, like when it came to like doing the modules, like I presented, like I've got my presenting show reel. It wasn't the best, but I've still got it. The TV acting stuff I've got for third year, I've got my final assessment for that, like on my laptop at home, and I've got the motion capture stuff that we did at, I've got that at home.
Yeah.
But when it comes to creating a show reel, we don't have enough footage for those show reels, even though we did so much work.
And they were always like, well, we encourage you guys to kind of make relationships with the animation students or the media students or the digital film production students. And it's kind of like, great, but like...
They never gave us really the opportunities to do that.
They were like, do it. And they were like, but who do I email then? Like, I don't know anyone on the animation course. Who do I email if I want to get on an animation? Like,
yeah.
They've kind of said... maybe do it, but not really explained how, and I think that's just kind of...
It's like, do it, but you've got to figure it out yourself, which I understand that is what uni's about, like, so your level of independence within education, you've got to do it all yourself, and you're learning for yourself.
They can still do more stuff. They could do, like, networking events, stuff like that, or even put it in modules to collaborate with the other students. Yeah,
so second and third year, we did get to collaborate with, like, the media students and the, like, comedy students, but that was all them in, like, we got put into a class. We didn't get to, like, choose to work with them. We were just all shoved into a class, all learn the same things. But it was hard for us as theatre students for, like, if we was to wanting to go do, like, TV acting as a module in second year, the media students already had a year of experience behind the camera, whereas we was thrown into it in the deep end, so they'd always come out better than us. They'd always get praised, and we had to basically, like, learn it off the bat, when sometimes it's the first time I was literally being in front of a camera being like, right, we need to do this is the scene that we're learning.
Another kind of like bitter pill about that kind of is the amount of things that like me and you have both wanted to go for, and we've been like, yeah, you should really do that. Oh, you can't though, because it's a media and performance, and it's kind of like
do you know how we was always told to go and like do the short films, like do the student films, go on to Mandy, do all this, do all that, like get your experiencing, create your show reels. The amount of student films that I applied for, that I'd see that would pop up on our network, on our Blackboard and things like that, I'd apply for them. I would never hear anything back. The only thing that I will be grateful for is Nikki's acting opportunities. She'd always email me or email asking if anyone would want to do them. And I was always free to do them. And they were really fun because I'm working with different students doing...
Yeah, I really want to kind of explain the stuff that you've got to do. I think you should tell everyone, like, the stuff that you've done.
Okay. I wasn't going to, but okay. You pulled my arm. So I've had the opportunity of working with the policing students, the nursing students, and the social work students, playing a variety of different characters.
Like?
Which one do I start off with? So my first ever acting role play job that I had with Nikki and uni was with the policing students, and I had to play a 15-year-old roadman swearing and being aggressive to police officers and bullying one of our dear friends.
Can we get like a little impersonation? Or
no. I did play a song. What song did I play? I think I played Badadan actually.
Oh.
I was like, there was like, can one of you just pull out like roadman music?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just play Tice Fight Night music. It's like proper bassy music. I was like, this'll work. So I was just stood there wearing black joggers and a black hoodie, my hood up, literally on like 3 hours sleep because I did not sleep the night before, throwing hula hoops at people, breaking up vegan sausage rolls because that's the only thing that the shop had, and just swearing and then putting poor Lily into headlocks and bullying Lily to the point where Lily wanted to unfortunately like have her mental health plummet and goes on from there. I'm having to watch how I word this because I don't want you to then have to go in and put a lot of trigger warnings.
Yeah, we're just going to... Everything you've just said is going to get beeped out.
Yeah, everything you say.
Yep. Not even just like that, just everything in the podcast.
Well, Lily then obviously like negatively impacted her mental health because obviously it was bullying her, and obviously it then got to a point where she walked over to the train tracks and filmed a video basically saying that this was it, like she was going to end it all and sadly take her life. So that was my first ever acting opportunity. I was like, what the hell is this? Like I was like, what?
Crazy. Yeah.
And then second one that I've done was again with the policing students. This was me being a part of I was a granddaughter of an old man who got robbed. The house got burgled into. They stole my car keys. I was like, sound.
What car was it?
I think it was like a blue Ford Fiesta.
Nah, you weren't missing much.
Hey, I have a red Fiesta.
I have a red Fiesta.
I have a red Fiesta. Well, it's not mine. I can drive it.
Is it 4-door?
It's a red Ford Fiesta.
Is it 4-door? 2-door?
2-door.
I have a 2-door as well. What year?
2014.
2013. We had the same car. Fucking hell.
So
It could be my car.
Oh my God. I've never seen the car in the same place at the same time. That's it. You guys
I've never
share a
seen
car?
your car.
Someone's lying.
It is literally identical, to be fair.
Well, my car's not currently here. My car's in Ipswich because it's Ty's car. I can just drive
A
it.
coincidence?
Ipswich.
I think not.
So yeah, that was that. And then we did a second scenario where I was the girlfriend of a drug dealer. Don't know where he went. I had the police banging on my door and they was like, where's this guy? And I was like, I don't know where he is. And then next scenario, he was in the flat and then I got arrested because there was illegal substances in the flat, which I didn't know about. They wasn't actually supposed to be left there. Like they were supposed to be taken out before we started the simulation. So then I got arrested for that because they were there and apparently I knew about them when I didn't actually notice them when I walked into the room.
That's what you would say.
And then the third scenario I had was with the third acting job I had, shall I say, actually, was with the nursing students. Mm-hmm. I had just had a child. I was dying. I had really bad pains in my lungs and then I had just pretended to die and then I had a foreign exchange student, actually give me CPR when they wasn't supposed to give me CPR.
All of this out of context is crazy,
Yeah.
by the way.
So I got a photo of me. This happened after Halloween. I was hanging out of my backside because I went out. I had still partially my makeup on. I looked rough. The lecturer of the nursing students turned around and was like, "Oh, you look perfect for the part right now." I was like,
"Oh, thanks.
Is that how bad I look?" So I got the opportunity to do that, and then my most recent one that I did, it was a hard one. It was linking with the mental health, and it was me being a victim of domestic violence. And I'm grateful to have never experienced anything like that, but it was one of the most challenging pieces that I've had to do.
Yeah.
Because I was having to correspond with these social workers. I was a mum with a child and I was trying to leave, but I didn't know how to leave. And I was like saying how I sadly didn't want to be here anymore. Like I wanted to end it all. And like it was a very extreme piece to do. So it was trying to do that without breaking down so easily and like getting the help off them so easily. So I broke out of it just to get it over and done with. I had to keep it going. And it was one of those ones where, because it was such a serious situation, and I had never experienced it. And obviously I know of domestic violence, like I studied it when I did criminology and I've seen obviously people online who's sadly gone through it and stuff like that. It was one of them ones where I did not know how to do a piece like that and not have anyone take offence.
Yeah. It's the idea of capturing like the realism without leaning into like dramatization. It's like what you were saying before. It's very kind of like it's just a fine line to walk in it when doing that type of role.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the acting opportunities I've had at uni. It's complete diverse ones, going from a roadman to a mother who's just had a child and scaring all the students thinking that I've died.
Did you have to shave your head to be a roadman?
No, I just had my hood up. Like I was going to shave my head.
Why would she shave her head to be a roadman? Why would that?
Because no roadman's going to have blonde hair.
Have you not seen the
I was
roadmen
gonna say,
around
I
here?
don't know.
It's too feminine.
Have you not seen the roadmen around here?
Yes, I come here every day. Not every day.
Every single roadman that I have seen recently, they're about 14, 15. They all wear black beanies with their black tracksuits or their dark grey tracksuits, and they all have long curly hair.
Some white kids even have dreadlocks. It's like, what are you doing? Seek God.
Cultural appropriation.
Yeah, very true. What about the acting opportunities you've had?
Well, I've not really done any with other students. I mean, I helped you with your short film.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit for your friend Dan. I did the academic comeback, which was like an unofficial Red Bull advert. I've been quite fortunate that I've been with Moon casting agency since second year, maybe like first year, second year of college. So I've done loads throughout that. I've been a part of Red Rose, Fool Me Once, Lagging, Gentleman in Moscow. Like it's like background actor, which is like a really cool experience to kind of do. Have I done anything else?
Which would you say is your best acting opportunity that you've had?
Best act. Obviously the Mentell shoot, right?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, now you say your answer.
Oh, okay.
No, I would definitely say, like, I'm not even saying this just because you're in the room. Like, I'd say Mentell was probably one of my most favourite ones to do because of the subject matter.
Yeah.
But just, like, in general, like, it was a really fun shoot to say it was such a serious thing. It was like a group of friends that was filming, even though like it was literally my first time ever meeting you and everything. Like, we started speaking like 2 days before when Nick sent you my details over, like knew nothing about you. I want to say that's one of them alongside. I've just boosted his ego
I'm gonna
too
snake
much.
you out completely.
That is like my ego is stroked right now.
He's going to walk out. His head's not going to fit through that door.
Let me deflate that a little bit. As great as working for the Mentell shoot was working on a set with Ewan McGregor as someone who kind of is born on May the 4th, being Star Wars Day. Working on a set with Obi-Wan was amazing. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. So, Michelle Keegan.
Very, very sick.
Yeah. Who else have I met? There was some old guy from Game of Thrones that everyone was like raving over, and I just because I've never seen Game of Thrones, which is like a cardinal sin apparently now. Like, you can't tell people that you've not seen Game of Thrones.
He's like in between, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't seen In Betweeners, first of all, stop watching the podcast and go
watch. No. Finish the podcast.
No, we're not getting sponsored by this. We can't say that.
Okay, yeah, finish the podcast first.
Then go watch it. Yeah, I want to say mine was probably the Mentell project and the upcoming project that is soon to be released.
That you won't say anything about.
I'm not allowed to say anything about.
Okay,
you should
never know. We'll bleep it.
You should know Moon's rules.
Yeah, no, you literally you're very much not allowed to say or like post anything. That would be spoilery.
Like, I don't even know if I can talk about. I feel like if I was to talk about.
Of course you can bleep it.
Just cut this little section out.
I can turn your mic off.
Yeah, just turn the audio, and then if someone can lip sync, then
I'll go like that so they can't see it.
I can put a bleep on your mouth as well.
I'm not going to say what it was. It was filmed.
It was a new Avengers movie.
It was. I'm the new Spider-Man. Tom Holland, I'm coming for you.
Gender swap Spider-Man.
I'm a Spider-Woman.
It's still called Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Who's to say I'm a woman? It's 2025, don't assume my gender.
Oh, I kind of...
Pan or something.
I'm a dishwasher.
Some people...
I'm not a dishwasher, I hate washing up.
Like, is that class as objectification?
I
think it is to a degree.
What's objectification?
We could get into that. We can get into
Let's-
a whole debacle about that.
I feel like we can't get into that.
Yeah. I feel like maybe...
Even
On camera.
Even one mention of it, the pitchforks are getting out, the torches are away.
Yeah. They're outside the door waiting for you, James.
Yeah, I'm
For-
already
for
waiting for all
merely
these
saying
hate
that,
comments
yeah.
to pop up because I
Yep.
just said it's 2025. Who's to say I'm a woman?
Yep. Thank
Got
you
to cut
guys.
that part
Episode
out.
3 and you guys got my podcast cancelled already.
All it took was for me to come on it and your podcast is cancelled. There you go. That could be the intro before we even
I
start
did not.
into it.
No,
No context, just
Well, I wanted
3 episodes in, all it took was for me to get on here for it to be cancelled.
I wanted to quickly ask you as well, because you just brought up... Oh, okay. Because you just brought up Tom Holland. Me and Rob talked about star casting last week and how it's the biggest, it's the most infuriating thing as an actor. You know when you just see Tom Holland or Timothée Chalamet in every single movie for 5 years in a row?
There was one recently and I was like, why the hell have they casted him? Now I can't think of what it was. That's going to really stress me out.
Are we talking Dwayne Johnson or James was Jason Statham? You know when the character...
Dwayne Johnson as the new Rapunzel?
I can see it. No,
it wasn't that. I can't actually remember what it was, but I was just there
why.
You
see a character on set and you're kind of like when Tom Holland played Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, Nathan Drake is not Tom Holland, if that makes sense. You're just watching Tom Holland. Come on.
I know Georgia's going to be watching this, so sorry, Georgia. Hear me out. Oh, what's the film called now? It was a Marvel film. I can't think what it was called. It was one of the weird... It was a weird... I swear it was a Marvel film. It's one of the weird ones. Had Harry Styles in at the end. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Why?
I didn't know that so quickly.
I was going to say
Harry
Elementals.
Styles played Star Fox.
I was going to say Elementals.
Yeah.
The new Marvel film, Elementals. Yeah, why?
It was a choice, especially
after... To be fair, I've not seen all of Harry Styles. I've not seen a single Harry Styles film.
He did a film with Florence Pugh.
That was...
I want to say it was Don't Worry, Darling.
That.
It was also in Dunkirk.
And The Policeman.
But him in that film with Florence Pugh, and it might just be because Florence Pugh's acting skills are leagues above. But when they have that scene and she's yelling, or he's yelling at her and she's yelling at him, it's just this boy is not made up to be an actor, is he? That's
what I'm saying. I've not actually watched any of his productions, so I can't say he's a terrible actor, but it's just there
It's The Weeknd.
It's a choice. Shut up.
Dude, I saw that. I was The Weeknd's in a film?
I'm getting calls.
He made his own show as well.
Yeah.
The Idol.
Shows how much I watch TV. I don't know. All I watch is Glee at the moment.
Research.
Oh my God.
It's awful but amazing at the same time as how bad it is.
I was watching...
Hurry Up Tomorrow's not much better.
I was watching... It was a new series that came out onto Disney called The Stolen Girl, I think it is. It's a 5-part drama.
Who stole the girl?
This woman, and I'm not going to lie, her acting wasn't the best. Because, it was based in Manchester, Greater Manchester Police and stuff like that. They filmed at Man Met's uni.
Yeah.
Screw Man Met.
The competition.
It was one of them ones where it's she was a really good actress, for what it was, it was really good acting, don't get me wrong, it was a really good show, but there was some parts of it and it was just there, personally, in my personal opinion, that could have been better, or I feel she overreacted a tiny bit in that thing, and it's just one of them ones, but it's I feel star casting at the moment is a very big thing, because I feel as though industries want to star cast certain individuals, male and female, for certain things, because
it's a budget thing, and it is.
I wouldn't even say it's the budget thing. It's a lot of people are liking those individuals at the moment, so they know they're going to get them. They know that they're going to get the money in because people are going to be seeing it for those actors because they are massive fans of those actors. Then they are going to see a normal film that doesn't have their actors in. People were trying to kick off over Wicked because you had Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo in it, and it's just they're oh well, why are you having Ariana Grande in it? I think she's only ever done such and such and such and such. What does she know about musical theatre? She started off in musical theatre. Wizard of Oz was one of the first things that she did. She's always had a love for the Wizard of Oz, so of course she's going to audition for Wicked, and they were oh yeah, well, they've just got Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo on it because they were both really good singers, and they wasn't letting everyone else have a chance in this and that. They got it because they know of the fan base. It's that's not that. She auditioned. She didn't know whether she was going to get it. So many other people auditioned, Amanda Seyfried and stuff like that auditioned for the role of Glinda. you could have had so many other people that have done it. It's what the directors have picked because the directors could see that they had a really good friendship and they could see that they had the vocal range and they had the talent. Like, that wasn't star casting, but people are still trying to make it out that it was. Yeah. I just think it's weird.
I think it's one of them as well. It's not like, I mean, Amanda Seyfried probably could have been Glinda and could have done a really good job. But I think it kind of comes down to like director's vision or like the rapport between Sophia Rebo and Ariana Grande. You know, where they're just holding space for each other.
I think as well, like, not even that, holding space. I like that.
Yeah, I really was hoping someone would notice that.
I think it's one of them ones though as well where it's like they Ariana Grande has that bubbly personality.
Yeah.
I feel like the bubbly personality that Glinda is, as much as Amanda Seyfried is a really good actress, like I do like her work, Mamma Mia, Chef's Kiss.
I got PTSD.
Oh, I hate that movie so much.
I love Mamma Mia.
I can't do musicals.
No.
It's against
Leave.
No, I'm with James, to be fair. I'm a theatre student who doesn't really like theatre anymore.
Uni.
Theatre is class. Musical theatre.
Yeah.
Chuck it in a bit.
I love musicals.
I think it depends on the music.
I love music. It's bad. I've got an unhealthy addiction to musicals, especially Hamilton. It's really bad.
Oh, Hamilton is such a good musical. Lin-Manuel Miranda's been not cast, but like he does the music for loads of other things. Like he made the music for Moana, didn't he? And
Lin-Manuel's music is top notch.
And he did some songs to the new Lion King.
He's done quite a lot of the Disney productions. The whole Encanto soundtrack Lin-Manuel wrote.
Yeah.
He's such a diva. I love him.
Oh.
But
James is looking at us like he has no idea who that guy is.
I don't know.
He would if he probably might do if he saw him.
Yeah.
But no, like, what was we on about now before we went on to musicals? Amanda Seyfried just doesn't. I feel like she wouldn't be able to give
the outward bubbly
character that Glinda is.
That's the thing about acting as well. Like sometimes you kind of get known for your previous roles, if that makes sense. So you know what, like Robert Downey Jr. Kind of gets known for him playing the billionaire playboy Tony Stark, or
who's Tony Stark?
I don't know. Some guy maybe.
He's just some guy with all his jets.
Yeah.
Man Iron.
Steel Boy. But do you get what I'm saying? So you know when like actors kind of get hard to get out, break out of their traditional roles because they've been doing such an iconic role. It's kind of hard for them to then go up. Like Robert Pattinson, you know when he did the Batman, or he did the Lighthouse, and everyone's like, "You'll never do well in that movie. You're Edward Cullen from Twilight."
I think it's hard as well. Well, it's like Zac Efron. Zac Efron's done Mike and Dave Need Wedding Date. He's done Baywatch, Bad Neighbours. Yeah. The Greatest Showman, Hairspray, High School Musical, everyone. And I mean, I fall victim in this. I still do it. I will still forever know him as the Troy Bolton of High School Musical. But it's like everyone will remember them. I think it's a case of everyone will always acknowledge them and remember them for being a certain character within a certain film or something like that, because it's always the films that they've been in the most. So like everyone will remember Robert Downey Jr. as oh my god, it's Robert Downey Jr. Sorry, that came into my head then when Tom Holland said that about Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
When he's most known for that because he did so many Marvel films,
and he did it for so many years.
Like you have Iron Man, then you had him in Avengers and all the other Marvel films that he was in. Whereas like he would have done, he did like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. Like he was only every odd one that he was in.
He was also in Oppenheimer.
Yeah. He was really good. He played a villainous role in that though, didn't he? Honestly,
I've still not seen that, to be fair. I need to watch. I'm going to go home and watch that tonight.
So good.
I feel like
he was going to have steam.
This is where I get kicked out now. It's like, right,
this
podcast is over.
We'd rather by your arms and legs, you get the flung out. Yeah.
redoes it, but just try and find someone who looks kind of like me, or just James just green screens my face on it and just find someone else to do it.
I'll just wear a blonde wig.
Just change the name to like Shmara Shmornina.
Cara, there you go.
Tara
Cordiner.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the productions that they've been the most in, that's what people remember them for, instead of like everything else. Like going back to Tom Holland, everyone's obviously now knowing him as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he started off in Billy Elliot and The
before
Impossible.
That, people saw him as like the Billy Elliot kid, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they saw him as Spider-Man.
Yeah, but like, look at how good he was in The Impossible. Like,
that's the Ewan McGregor, like the one with like the tsunamis.
Yeah, because you had Tom Holland in it, but you also had his brothers in it as well that were playing his younger brothers in the film. And like, they were all of really young age, and like that was it was a difficult film to watch, let alone to like act, I feel. And like they all did really well, and like that was like one of the big films that I feel like kind of got him into like the TV, like the film industry. I personally feel, because of how well it did. And then obviously Spider-Man came, and now everyone's like, oh yeah, Tom Holland is Spider-Man, he's the best Spider-Man, he's the best. Yeah, what about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, justice for Andrew Garfield, man. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, so good.
Like,
honestly, so good. I feel like people only wanted Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man when it was too late as well. Like, you know, when like No Way Home came out and people were suddenly like, oh my God, Andrew Garfield's so good as Spider-Man.
Because his performance was amazing.
Yeah.
It's just
the writing was bad, yeah. They just crammed way too much.
I feel like it's a lot. No slander on Marvel, because I love Marvel, but I just feel like I'm getting stared down now when it's like I need to watch live.
It's time to watch for live the production, so don't put anything on it.
I feel that not all of the Marvel films are amazing. I feel like some of the more modern ones, more recent ones, are terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Disney's to blame.
Like the Elementals?
No, 100%. Like, the same goes with Star Wars. Like, since Disney took over...
has ruined Star Wars.
Yeah, since Disney, and as much as I love Disney, since Disney has taken over, Marvel and Star Wars, they've gone downhill. I feel like the series of Star Wars are good, but the films,
I think it's more though because kind of became like a ticket printing machine. Like they very much like they were just putting out too much stuff. They couldn't really like they were putting how many shows and movies out a year? Yeah.
I personally think Andor is one of the only good ones, because you've got so many. You have Ahsoka.
You've got
Obi-Wan
Kenobi. They butchered that as well.
I think it was decent. I feel like it could have been better, but I still feel like it was a decent watch.
But I feel like a show like that really bangs on people's nostalgia to carry it forward.
Yeah, because it's about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like,
standing on its own legs.
Everyone knows Star Wars for Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's be real. Like, but it's like Marvel as well. Like, once they started bringing out all the different spin-off series and stuff like that,
and they kind of punish people who didn't watch all the shows. Like, I feel like if you're not really that heavy of a Marvel fan, if that makes sense, and you've not watched like all these shows that connect, and you kind of then go to watch this, like the new film, you're like, who are some of these characters in this? If that makes sense.
To be fair though, as well, like, sometimes you don't even need to watch all the films, all the shows to understand the films. I haven't watched, in fact, the only Marvel show that I've watched from start to finish was Moon Knight.
Just to stay on the topic of Star Wars, I think we can all collectively agree here.
Yes, my lightsaber would be green.
That's not what he was going to say.
He was going to register in my brain whatsoever. What did he say?
My lightsaber would be green.
That's so basic.
Right, well then what colour lightsaber would you pick?
Right. What was you going to say? Ignore Nick. What was you going to say?
The Acolyte, absolutely awful.
That was one that was based like way in the past, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But just absolutely awful. Do your own research, but
yeah, the like 5 Acolyte fans is going to attack you now. Yeah.
We'll get
Callum Connor like,
Acolyte is actually picked Star Wars.
I think I saw in a post a while ago that Kathleen Kennedy once wore a t-shirt. She made a post. She wore a t-shirt and said like, "The force is women," and something like that. Just completely girl power. Like, shouldn't give a fuck about anything else. Money and just completely disrespecting men. Just solely focused on making it a girl power sort of thing, which I think is completely wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
I understand, like, where she's coming from in a sense of, like, 9 times out of 10 when it comes to, like, action films and stuff like that, besides Black Widow and stuff like that, like, majority of your action films are all men. Like, going for the female action heroes and, like, female power and stuff like that, I understand where you're coming from because it's trying to still get equality, because obviously equality is not a thing within the film industry. Like, there's always going to be more male roles than there is female roles, and
like,
the casting are going to be more white dominated.
I found the picture. Look, the force is female.
I feel like
I don't have my
that
glasses on,
interview.
I can't read that.
I feel like it was Kathleen Kennedy saying that she didn't really pay much attention to the lore or the actual story of the characters, and she wanted to explore, like,
her own themes.
Yeah, which is okay. I understand that, and obviously it's good to portray, like, strong female characters, but it's also kind of like when you're taking on such a beloved IP such as, like, Star Wars or a Marvel IP,
you got to be respectful to the source material.
If that makes sense.
Being the same IP, there's no other way to.
And you can do both.
A strong fan base behind it.
Yeah,
you don't mess with it.
No, exactly. Like, it is one of those ones where, like, I understand they're trying to obviously constantly bring in more equality to, like, the acting industry with, like, inclusion of all races and, like, all genders and making it equal, because it's, like, it's never been equal. It's always been white male dominated.
Yeah.
But it is one of them ones where, like, if there is already stuff that's out in production, like, it is hard to change it when there's so many of them. And it's one of them ones where it's just like, it's hard because you want it to be for everyone, but you don't want to take away, like, what was already going on, but you still want to try and find a way to change the industry and make it more equal, if that makes any sense.
I feel like just time-wise, because we're probably getting quite long in the episode now, we're probably going to have to kind of...
1 hour and 22.
Ooh, kind of wrap it up a little bit.
You want to wrap it up?
Have you got any little closing statements you want to... Tell you what, we'll finish with this. If you could pick a dream role, one dream character, a dream role that you'd like to have in the future, manifest it now. So, like, if you ever do make it to that role, I can say it's because of this podcast.
And then you'd expect me to thank you at a award show.
I'll
like,
expect,
I would like to thank
10%
you.
gratuity, yeah.
10%, that's bold. I don't actually know.
Oh.
Like, I've always wanted to go into the acting industry and, like, the film industry, but I don't think there's ever been a character that, like, a dream role, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of, I'd know my dream role when I get given it.
Yeah, when it comes across, yeah. Okay. I feel like for me, I'd love to voice a main character in an anime. I believe you were very aware that I'm a huge anime nerd. As a
You're the next Naruto voice.
Yeah. Oh, I wish. But yeah, obviously, if you're listening on YouTube, if you guys could subscribe, like the video. If you're listening on Spotify, if you could follow or rate on Spotify, it'd be greatly appreciated. And thank you again for listening. And a huge thank you to Tara for coming on. It was really nice talking to you. And big up producer James.
Big up producer James.
Big up producer James.
Woo!